It's time for Lefties Losing It, and this is genuinely amusing. Listen here as the worst vice presidential candidate ever, Tampon Tim Walz, you remember him, the man famous for putting tampons in boys' bathrooms across his state. Well, he's revealed that he was selected by Kamala Harris because he could code talk to white dudes. Really, white dudes watching football and fixing their trucks were going to vote for this.
I also was on the ticket, quite honestly, because I could code talk to white guys watching football, fixing their truck, doing that I could put them at ease. I was the permission structure to say, look, you can do this and vote for this.
Yeah, this guy is the Democrats' idea of masculinity. Yes, this dude. Yes, that's a picture of strength and masculinity. Just look at how well he loads a gun.
That's my theory. And it never fits quite right. Never fits quite right. Just not quite right. How do you give it back?
Now, let's check in with the latest thing to be listed as inherently racist. You'll recall that everything from the countryside to working out has been labelled a sign of white supremacy. And now you can add to that list punctuality. Yes, being on time is white supremacy.
Being on time is white supremacy because what are they always on time to do? Oppress. I'm always going to be 10 to 15 minutes late because that's the correct time, according to my people.
Now to the corrupt corporate media. President Donald Trump sat down for an interview with ABC's Terry Moran to discuss the first 100 days of his second term. Now, for the record, Terry Moran, you may never have heard of him, is a classic lefty losing it, and he went about proving that straight away. He seems to think the billions in waste and fraud uncovered by the Department of Government Efficiency will result in no investigations or criminal referrals. Listen to how he frames this question.
We found a lot of fraud. There was a lot of fraud. Fraudulent things were taking place, and we ended that, and those people are going to be suffering because of it.
A legal note, fraud is a crime. There have been no referrals to the Justice Department on any.
Well, you don't know that, do you? How do you know that?
Have there been referrals to the, are there criminal referrals?
How would you know that there were no referrals? I think there were referrals.
They generally, all right, there's been no investigation from the Justice Department.
How do you know that?
I'm asking you, sir.
No, you're not asking me. You made a statement. You're not
now I'm asking you.
That was a statement that you made. There had been.
I'm asking you.
Have there been? Yes, there have.
Donald Trump wasn't putting up with that sort of nonsense. This was his response when asked whether he trusted Vladimir Putin.
Do you trust him? Do you trust him?
I don't trust you. I don't trust a lot of people. I don't trust you. Look at you. You come in all shooting for bear. You're so happy to do the interview.
I am
and
happy.
Then you start hitting me with fake questions. You start telling me that a guy whose hand is covered with a tattoo doesn't have the tattoo. You know.
All right.
I mean, you're being dishonest.
No, I'm not.
No, I am not.
And you might be wondering why President Trump selected this particular ABC clown for an interview. Well, the president addressed that question.
That was Photoshop, Terry. You can't do that. Hey, they're giving you the big break of a lifetime. You know, you're doing the interview. I picked you because, frankly, I never heard of you, but that's okay. But I picked you, Terry.
He really is wonderfully droll, and he did not miss the opportunity to remind the ABC and other media that they were complicit in the cover-up about Joe Biden's obvious cognitive decline.
We were laughed at all over the world. We had a president that couldn't walk up a flight of stairs, couldn't walk down a flight of stairs, couldn't walk across the stage without falling. We had a president that was grossly incompetent. You knew it, I knew it, and everybody knew it, but you guys didn't want to write it because you're fake news.
All right. Thank you.
And by the way, ABC is one of the worst, I have to be honest with you.
Thank you.
And let's not forget, it was only a few months ago the ABC gave President Trump an enormous payout to settle a defamation case. They never learn. Joining me now is journalist and author Batia Unga-Sargon. Batia, I have to say I did find that ABC interview enormously entertaining. What was your take, and did we learn anything new?
I think it's really interesting. The president, I think, sees his agenda as a very unifying one, which it is. He was elected with a mandate to bring back the glory of American life, American prosperity, the American working class, the dignity of working class Americans. And I think that he still wants that recognition from a mainstream liberal media that is utterly committed to representing him in the worst possible light. And you can see that he just is so confused because he knows that what he's doing is what he was elected to do. And yet he still experiences this constant contempt from the mainstream media. So it was very interesting to see them playing off each other in those designated roles, despite the fact that the country itself is so different.
It is, but when he selects these leftists to conduct the interview, he knows their form, they're not newcomers. Does he really expect anything different, or does he actually want to have that fight? Does he want to take them on?
It's very interesting because he recently met with a number of different journalists. There were 3 that he met with from The Atlantic, and then he sat down with the comedian and sort of political commentator Bill Maher. And in both of those cases, Bill Maher, of course, has criticized him very vociferously, but also the journalist from The Atlantic, everybody who he met with in those contexts talked about how charming he is and how when they met with him one-on-one, they were able to have really interesting conversations, and that he does come off in this very charming way, even when he is speaking to people who have criticized him. I do think that he has this feeling of things are so different now. He won the popular vote. He won every swing state. Every state in America moved to the right, in appreciation for what he's promising. So I think he is very sort of confused and stymied by the idea that they're still running that 2016 playbook again, still calling him Hitler, still calling him a threat to democracy, when it's clear that the country is behind him.
Well, you're not imagining it. Just about every news report on Donald Trump and his administration is negative. It is 2016 all over again.